We are we are live, and I am here with Brian and Andrew, and this is Devoted to a Soldier. Join our table, and we are here talking about veteran service organizations today. Pros, cons, good, bad, what's up, what's down, what's all around. So please, if you have comments, I'm kind of like looking at Instagram here. I've got Facebook on this other side. So let us know where you're from. Let us know if you're a veteran. Let us know what if you've got a gripe, if you've got a oorah, if you have questions. That's why we're here. If we don't get to it live, we will definitely respond in the comments. One of us that it is, pertaining to. So tell us a little bit about yourself. We'll start with Brian first because you are next in my line of view.
Oh, well, okay. So Brian Walker, I'm the Junior Vice Commander for the Department of Tennessee Veterans of Foreign Wars.
Whoop, whoop. Yeah, and what does that mean?
What does the Veterans of Foreign Wars mean, or what is the Junior Vice?
Yeah.
Or the whole thing?
The whole thing.
So the Veterans of Foreign Wars has been around since 1899. I'm sure we're going to talk more about it later, but we're a national organization. Each state has their own department. You have a commander, a senior vice, and a junior vice, and usually it's a stepping stone to get to commander. So in June, I'll be sworn in as a senior vice.
Woohoo! Oh, congratulations. And is your goal to be commander? Is that like?
It is. It is. The whole reason for running, you get elected by all the veterans that are and members of the VFW within the state. So it's a statewide election. You spend a year driving around the state and getting yourself known with veterans. And then those veterans cast votes to elect you into that position. All
right, cool. Very, very cool. So we have Tennessee in the house. We have Washington State in the house. We've got New Hampshire, Massachusetts.
Nice.
So there's, they're coming in. So, and Mr. Andrew.
Hey, what's up, Coach? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. My name is Andrew Farr. I'm the Irreverent Warriors Regional Coordinator for Tennessee, Montgomery, Alabama, and Richmond, Virginia. And basically, we do suicide prevention hikes all around the country, and I'm basically in charge of Tennessee. We have one in Nashville, Knoxville, Chattanooga, Memphis, and the other two cities that I mentioned previously.
Did you just add Richmond to
your?
Yes,
yes, I did.
Listening. I'm paying attention here. My memory isn't that bad. Good for you. So
it kind of fell into my lap, and I've got a little history with Richmond, and wanted to help out Montgomery. So I aim to please my president, Cindy Fiera McNally.
So I got some powerhouses in the house. Look at these two, as Callie Faye was like, strong-looking men. Perfectly said, Callie Faye. Strong-looking men that I surround myself with. So okay, I want to talk about, first of all, you can each answer this on your own. Not at the same time, though. Why did you even get started doing what you're doing? Because I think that's very important.
Brian, since you have 10 years experience, you go with the VFW first. Go ahead.
Are you sure?
Oh, yeah, positive.
The reason I got involved was I came home from my deployment, started school, and a buddy, Robert Hunt, approached me and was discussing to me about the VFW. I joined more as I'm a veteran, I support what they do. Mm-hmm. It was when he started inviting me to go to different bigger meetings around the state that I saw the actual need. Our generation just isn't involved right now. And especially at that point, that was 10 years ago. So 10 years ago, I was 31. I was at a new wife. I wasn't interested in the VFW. I wanted to support them, but I wasn't locked in. It wasn't until I started going to the meetings and I actually saw what the VFW does, what their mission is, and the impact they've had around the world with veterans and how I saw they were directly affecting my life, that I knew that I had to step in and make this more part of my life to help the veterans coming down the road. We have a whole new generation of veterans that are spilling blood on the same sand that Andrew spilled blood. Luckily, I never spilt no blood, so they're dropping sweat on the same sand that I dropped sweat on. But that's why I got involved.
Okay, but can you go back again and just clarify? Would you ever have gotten involved if your friend hadn't said, "Hey, come and check this out"?
I would like to say yes, but probably not.
And what is it? I feel like this moment right there, that mindset right there is like, I just want to unlock the key. You know, why was it? There had it like, why? If you can remember.
No, I actually remember where we were at. We were at a one of our district meetings at Post 684 when I really took this step to be more active. And we just had a quartermaster pass away. Our post had just merged. We were, I mean, it was like 3 guys holding that whole post together that were actually doing all the work. And no one would step in to be commander. So Robert basically had to go around and say, okay, you know, will you take this position? If I can get somebody to fill this position, I'll take this position. Like, they shuffled it all around. And I said, okay, I'll be involved, because then I saw the passion. Okay. I saw what people were willing to do to push this thing forward. And traveling around when I decided to run for to go into through the chairs, the lines through the VFW, it was the stories that I heard around the state are what really now solidify the mission for me and what I've done and the decisions I've made.
Okay, we're going to come back to a lot of that. I had to write stuff down because, or I'll forget.
Hey, he's got 10 years of stuff, so I mean, he's got lots of stuff to talk about.
Yeah. We're definitely going to have to do a part 2 of this because. Of
course.
Cool. All right. So for those of you that don't know, I mean, Andrew's been on here so many times. I've done one-on-ones on the dose of Did You Know? I just love this man because it is. You're like an onion yourself.
Oh, come on, man. You don't make me cry. Do not make me cry tonight.
Oh, no, I'm very cry today, so it might happen. I'm just warning you. But tell everybody what got you started in doing what you're doing, because you're very active now.
I also am a life member of VFW, Marine Corps League, American Legion. But most of my energy goes to Irreverent Warriors. I had the pleasure and honor of coordinating the Nashville hike yesterday. And I really saw, I mean, not yesterday, last year. Sorry, didn't mean to swear.
It's all right. We're grown-ups here.
And when I got that offer to coordinate Nashville, I really saw what Irreverent Warriors does. Now, I've been with the Irreverent Warriors for 2 years, but, you know, my first hike was Savannah, Georgia. I was drunk as hell. I wasn't sober like I am today.
Yeah.
I actually had to beg and plead Cindy and be 6 months sober to get my own hike. And when I did it, it just opened up the doors of the laughter, the love, the camaraderie, the things that we see every day. Come to a hike, and that's what you'll see. Sharing stories, crying, laughing, irreverent behavior, not immoral and illegal behavior, irreverent, just showing a little bit of disrespect. Not a lot, just a little bit. Laughing at stuff that, you know, usually normal people don't laugh at. Now, that's what really brought me to this organization, because we're getting all these young people, we're getting old people, we're getting Vietnam vets, we're getting Korea vets. I've seen vets from every single confrontation that we've had, except for, you know, Civil War, obviously, World War I. But I've seen World War II, I've seen Korea, I've seen Vietnam, I've seen Desert Storm. you know, I've seen all of these guys involved in our hike. Basically, we're trying to bridge the gap between all of us. I mean, we've all served, but we served in different times of our lives and different times in our nation's lives. And bringing together all those people, sharing those stories, it's, you know, it gets the history to the younger folk, to us. Like, we learn more about the guys and the old guys in the VFW. We learn about the stories. We learn what happened, you know, back in the 60s, back in the 50s, back in the 40s, whatever. And the Reverend Warriors, you know, we're like the VFW. We're trying to bring people together to one cause and to help each other out, to be a support system for each other.
Yeah, I love that. When you talked about, when I did, Joyce and I did Devoted to a Soldier out in New Bern in North Carolina.
Oh yeah, New Bern.
New Bern, gorgeous VFW, by the way, in New Bern. Have you ever been there, Brian?
Not yet.
It's like prime real estate. It's it has this huge yard and it's on a lake or a bay. It's like it's amazing. Fish out there, jump in while you're out talking. It was very distracting for me. I'm trying to be all serious, and I'm like, oh. But what one of the guys said when I was interviewing him, he said the best advice he got was from a World War II vet. And I think generational learning and teaching is it is gone. It's the old school way of being, and it is a lost art. And actually, it is the healing of humanity, and we've totally lost it. I have to share this. The story he said. He said, back when they, like in World War, they went on a ship. They were out for weeks and weeks and weeks to get there. They did their duty, and then they were weeks and weeks. It took them like months before they got back to like society. And within those months of coming back, he goes, that's when the healing happened. That's when they kind of detoxed their mind and they went through whatever they needed to go through together before they came back to society with their wives or their families or their friends. And he's like, now you're there in 24 hours. You're back in 24 hours. I don't even know the word that you go through. My son corrects me all the time, and I forget them all the time. But whatever, the class that you go through post-deployment.
Decompression?
Yeah. And he's like, you're in, you're out, and you're back to your job. It's not like it was back in the day. Do you feel that the VFWs and Irreverent Warriors, like, it's almost taking the place of that generational missing link to society? That's how I see it, kind of.
I would say yes. I mean, I know Andrew and I talked about it. I mean, we work together pretty much on a daily basis because while we're two different organizations and we have two different missions, our missions come to a point together at some point, and that's where we're like at that tip of that spear, helping.
Tip of the spear.
There we go. But no, I would agree.
Sorry, I had to say that. I had to say it. We're losing. I mean, our World War II guys are just about gone. Mm-hmm. We're losing our Vietnam guys at an astronomical rate. And I should know the number off the top of my head, but it's like 800,000 left, 800,000 to 1 million left. I mean, the number's not huge. They're dying at a fast rate because of Agent Orange. So, I mean, I've got one gentleman that comes to every post meeting, and he'll come up to me and he'll tell me that, you know, that he's ate up with cancer. He has breakfast every Thursday morning with 3 other Vietnam guys that have the same kind of cancer he has. And we all know in a couple of years, that table on that Thursday morning is going to be empty.
Yeah.
That's sad.
It is. So you look at, and Andrew and I mean, when we've discussed this, how many times, learning from the generations that came before us is extremely important. And it's not only learning the good things, it's learning the bad things. What didn't work.
Yeah.
What is screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
Their point of view is you know, it's that old saying, if you erase the past, you know, if it's bound to repeat itself, or whatever that saying is.
Exactly.
I mean, if we don't listen to these guys, if we don't take their advice,
same thing's going to happen.
Exactly.
It is. I know Russell's listening right now, and he is probably my favorite.
Hey, Russell.
Vet. So big shout out to Russell out there in Washington.
Hoorah!
And, you know, he's dealing with it. I mean, it's public knowledge, so I'll say it. He's dealing with cancer right now. We're going through that. We were talking today about, you know, he's facing his immortality right now. And it brings up stuff that you think you're done with, but you're not so much done with. Like, and I said, I don't think you're ever fully done. You just look at it different, and you have different tools to handle it when it pops back up. But it's right. They're brilliant. They're geniuses, and we have to learn. We have to sit down and take the time to do it. Hence why I started the documentary, and hence why I started doing this. And you guys are doing that, because not one shoe also fits. You know, for everybody, there has to be multiple like platforms, multiple different groups of doing it. So, Andrew, what if someone can't do the hike? Do you have people, what if people physically, they're like, God, I want to be part of that, but I can't physically do it?
We've had people in wheelchairs do a hike. We've had people with prosthetic limbs do a hike. If they can't do the hike, we will get somebody to help them out. We will drive them around. We did that last year for our commander of Tennessee. He got a little tired, so we put him into a vehicle. He still finished the hike, and it was awesome. And we will do that for anybody who has any issues whatsoever.
Okay, that was my selfish question for Russell, because Russell's big in the VFW up in Spokane now. And when we did our stuff out there, that's where I met him, when we did Devoted to a Soldier. And then he became kind of the same thing. It lit a fire under him. He got connected with the VFW. Now he's in there. He's like, you know, like this. But I know he's going to be asking me, because he can't do the walk. So I know that question would be coming in a text message. So, okay.
I went to a hike in Nebraska, and we had a guy, he was 3rd Recon in Vietnam. He only did like 8 miles, and then he got in the van, and he just continued on and handed out water. I mean, we're not going to like leave you behind. Like our adage, no man left behind, no woman, no man left behind. We will take care of our own during that hike.
Good. I mean, I do have experience with the VFW, and I have experience with Irreverent Warriors doing events with the VFW and volunteering with Irreverent Warriors. And I love both of you. We are going to have to go into another day, because it is coming up to an end. But I wanted to, I have to get this out there, is how, in your point of view, can you get the younger crew involved? Now, it's going to be different for each of you, and probably different issues, because I know my son, when he came out, he's like, I'm not joining the VFW. And then I know some like friends I'm not going to mention, but they're watching now, like they were actually not treated well when they went to the VFW. Now, that was years ago, and things like that. So I got to put it out there, because I know it's changing. I know it's not fully changed. I know it depends on the VFW in your area. There's lots of different levels of dimension, but you got to talk on that a little bit.
Brian, go ahead.
I got a great story. So
go ahead. No, I knew you did.
When I was running so in Tennessee, we started surgeon, judge, advocate, junior vice, senior vice commander. When I was running for surgeon, we did a friends get together in Knoxville, and I was in our Airbnb, and I called who's now our current commander, and I said, hey, I can look out the bathroom window of my Airbnb and I see the VFW. He said, we should go down there and check it out. So I walk down there, I knock on the door. They got chain or barbed wire, not barbed wire, but caging over the window. All right, doesn't make me feel safe about where I'm staying, but we'll see what happens. So I hold my ID card up, and the guy says it's some young a-hole who's a life member of the VFW. He lets me in. Find out that gentleman's not even a member of the VFW. The other people in there were not members of the VFW. That is an image thing that we have to clean up. Has to be cleaned up. I've been discriminated against, but here's the thing. We have the Blue Water Act for Navy that VFW just spearheaded and got passed. The Forever GI Bill. All these benefits that we have. And I do know a lot of younger veterans who said they won't join or they struggle joining because of the way they've been treated. I hear stories of the Vietnam guys, the way they were treated by the World War II guys. I don't know what you would define me as. I enjoy history. So to me, it's a rite of passage. Now, should I have been called an a-hole at the door by a guy who's not a VFW member? Probably not. Whether I am an a-hole or not, it doesn't matter.
You're not.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
You shouldn't say that. It's about the mission is what it's about. It's about what our office, and if you're ever in DC, you have to go check out the VFW office in DC. It's unbelievable. It sits across the street from the side of the Supreme Court. And if you go up to BJ Lawrence, who's now over that office, if you go up to his office, you look out the window at his desk, and you're looking right at the U.S. Capitol. It's catty U.S. Capitol. And anything and everything you need, they will bend over backwards to help a member. And they fight for these rights every day. If we don't get our numbers up for our service organizations, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to start cutting benefits. And those benefits are going to come from the veterans. They're going to cut our benefits. We now are going to have to pay back these trillions of dollars from COVID. And all the different programs that they're running, they are going to cut money from somewhere. And we can be in the chopping block very easy.
Okay, so what can I, what can I do? I'm just a mom. You know, I'm a mom with a loud voice. I'm Italian.
Blue Star mom.
Heart.
Life coach. Remember?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can, if your son qualifies, you can be an auxiliary member for the VFW. So even by that, you're showing support. And auxiliary members, they do all kinds of stuff. They're there to support the veterans.
So as a mother of a veteran, you can be. I did not know that. Yep,
mother, brother, sister, father of a veteran, they can all be auxiliary.
Circle, I'll get it to you. Basically, if you can, I think someone told me one time, and if anybody from the VFW National watches this, don't shoot me. If you can, IRS, if you can be put on like as an IRS, a stepdad, a stepmom, it won't go back. I think it will not go back to grandparent, brother, sister, children, stepchildren. They can be members of the auxiliary.
Oh yeah, send me that, because I know my Marine mom groups that I'm in would love
definitely.
That.
Oh yeah.
And I did not know that. So score on learning something new for me.
Every day.
Yes, I love it. All right, and now you're up, Andrew. Yeah, now you don't have, it's not the same as the VFW. It's totally different, but
well, we do have some people that are wary about what we're doing. We've gotten an interesting rep in the past of being a bar crawl, and it is not that. It is we do stop at different places, but it's more the focus is on the veteran. It's not focused on the food that we eat. It's not on the the places of refreshment that we stop at. I mean, for me, I'm a recovering alcoholic. I don't do that kind of stuff anymore. So we're trying to clean up our image, and we're doing a fantastic job. We have 55 hikes all over the country this year. I mean, when it first started in 2015, there were like 5 hikes. We're all over the country, from Boston to Key West to Oceanside to San Francisco. and everywhere in between. I mean, it's amazing. It's this year and last year we have grown. I can't even fathom the growth that this organization has done, and it's all to our leadership, to Nate, to Alex, to Cindy, to Dan, to all these guys that are in our higher leadership. They have been working very, very hard to make us a fierce nonprofit organization that is actually focused on the veteran and helping veterans improve their mental state, not fix their mental state, improve, and to prevent veterans from committing suicide. That is our main goal.
Well, I think that is kind of the main goal of all these organizations now, because it's becoming more prominent. And I just have to say really quickly, Joyce is watching. She just finished. She's been, if you don't know Joyce, she's the other half of me who has been very, very busy kicking butt down in Florida. And she was just on educating people on nothing. Anyways, you'll see that later. But she's out there now. She wasn't here, but I see she's popped up. I can't say what she was educating on them on because I haven't watched it. So I was just like, I can't talk about this. This is like, I'll sound ignorant, more ignorant than I just did. But she said, "Hey, Andrew, to you." So I think, like, to wrap things up, we're going to have to pick another day because there are a lot more questions. There are a lot more issues that I want to go into. What does that word look like? Preconceptions that are out there that I want clarified.
Preconceived notions.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
That are out there that I want to be cleared up from people that know what they're talking about, that are walking the walk, and not just hearsay or one bad experience like you had, Brian, that could have changed the whole projection of who you are and what you're doing. So we will be back. I don't know when that is. It will be posted. Any last things that you would like to share? And I do ask when this does go, when we're off, that you can put those special links, Brian, in there. If you can put it in there, give it to me so we can get it out. Put the Irreverent Warriors link in there, Andrew, for people, so it's easy to connect with. But any last closing things till next time?
I would throw this in there. The VFW gets a hard time. They say we're a bar and we're it's a bunch of old people. That's one of the biggest deals with the VFW, and that is not true. But and what we get from some of the seasoned generation,
nice, I like it,
like that, is that other nonprofits we're competing with them. We're competing with the American Legion. We're competing with the Military of the Purple Heart. We're competing with Gary Sinise. We don't build smart homes. We're doing the same thing, Military of the Purple Heart. We're doing the same thing, American Legions, and we all have the same mission. The beautiful thing about, at least in Tennessee, the partnership we've established with our Reverend Warriors is that they are out and they are getting people in masses together. And then we're coming in and we're providing the education on what's going on in DC. Like one of Andrew's hike leaders, and I won't say any names. I was doing an interview with him one day, and he said, before the interview, he said, I really don't need the VFW to have a hike. And I said, you're right, you don't. But you guys don't go to DC and lobby. You guys don't have the 120, at that point it was 120-year pool that we do in DC. I said, so without the VFW and without lobbying, you're just a hike. But by bringing us together, like I said earlier, we're the tip of that spear, that sword, and we're able to move forward because we can help them educate the people that come to their hikes. They can help us by boosting membership, which is what Congress sees when we do our annual Congress review.
Right on, because it does not take one person or one organization. It's the collaboration of many. No one is in competition.
And Brian's right. We need we need to bring the numbers together. We need to bring all these people together, all these VSOs, Marine Corps League, American Legion, DAV, IAVA. We're all doing the same thing. We all need to stop competing and affiliate with each other. And that's what Irreverent Warriors, we're starting small. And I think I heard Cindy talk about this a month or two ago, but we want to start, affiliating ourselves with Marine Corps League, American Legion, VFW. And I'm a member of all three of those. And so, different people, can fit into, Marine Corps League or DAV. Some people might not be able to get into the VFW because they didn't go anywhere. And that's not their fault. They were just following orders, and their orders didn't take them everywhere. So they, choose the American Legion. We can't just put our sights on one VSO to affiliate with. We have to affiliate with all of them. Mm-hmm. And I think it would make life a lot easier for all of us if we could do this.
I love it. You each have something so different, but so beneficial to offer. And, we're a circle. We're all pieces of a pie, each one. And you're fulfilling a need on a different area. And that is it. So I want to thank you guys so much for being on here, taking the time out of your life. We will schedule another one because this is some great beneficial talk. I mean, I learned, and I know that I'm going to be able to learn so much more. And if I learn, then I'm just going to share and somebody else will learn, and the ripple effect happens.
Of course.
Yes. And thank you for having us. This was great.
Thank you, Coach.
You are so welcome. And everybody, check out the links. I know Joyce is posting some. Check out Devoted to a Soldier page if you're not watching it on my page, or you might be already on Devoted to a Soldier page. If I got to put this out there, I do a private group for military veterans and their family. It's daily motivation. Andrew's part of that. He knows what it's like. It's free. Join. It just gives tools and just tools to grow, to daily living and growth. So, so join it there, and we will see you guys on the other side.
Thank you. See you, Brian.
See you, buddy.
See you, Danielle.
Bye.
Bye.